I know that we have lost a lot of our workers because of their hearing about these raids. We have got some of them back, but we're now about half capacity, which basically hurts our work production. This particular job here is a huge job for the community. Well, the community is going to miss out if we can't get it finished. And those raids happen a good bit away from here. There's a lot of closer jobs than this one, so I know they're all being affected as well.
I mean, we have rights as a general contractor. You can't just storm my site, and that shouldn't be happening here. But when that unknown is factored in, I mean, we've heard horror stories of, you know, they're detaining everyone. I've worked international projects, I've worked regional projects, and you know, I'm a Trump supporter. I back him 100%, but I just feel like there has to be a more...
And it's very hard these days to get people to do construction. It's extremely hard. And they are willing to do it. Hispanic descent, they basically are stepping up and will do some of the hard work. But I am a Trump supporter, like I said, and I do think there is a way to go about doing this, but I just don't think the raids.
Usually these will be worked on every day in, day out. Ain't nobody working, not a soul.
The Hispanic workforce is pretty much gone out here.
Our workers, the Hispanics, they will be up there. They don't want this to get wet. All those houses are sold, getting wet more than they have to and getting destroyed by the humidity. Well, they pay for them already.
This is not good. This is not good. I'm not seeing a lot of workers here. I'm not seeing a lot of movement going on here. This is not good. From a real estate standpoint, if you're already under contract for a property that's under construction, expect a lot of delays. And if you're looking for a new built property, expect prices to go up because there is a ridiculous shift taking place right now in the workforce. And unfortunately, that check is going to be passed on to us, the consumers. This is so sad.
Wow. Where's the people? Silence. This is all because of the immigration law.
It's Friday, 11:45 a.m. Ain't not one Mexican inside, not one food truck, no music, no tools going.
The Hispanic workforce is pretty much gone out here.
Our workers, the Hispanics, they will be up there. They don't want this to get wet. All those houses are sold, getting wet more than they have to and getting destroyed by the humidity. Well, they pay for them already.
Usually these will be worked on every day in, day out. Ain't nobody working, not a soul.
Hundreds of construction sites in Florida are now begging and struggling to find workers after the recent deportation of illegal immigrants.
Videos like this all over social media. Construction sites in Florida reportedly abandoned by immigrant workers following the state's new immigration law signed by Governor Ron DeSantis. Today, the governor was asked about migrants fleeing the state. He didn't directly address the issue, but said this.
You can't build a strong economy based on illegality.
Construction sites in the state of Florida are now empty and begging and struggling to find workers. The construction companies claim that this is due to the recent deportation of illegal immigrant workers. This situation with the construction sites in Florida has garnered controversy from commenters online. Commenters claimed that now construction companies can no longer hire cheap, low-cost labor and that the contractors hiring illegals should be held responsible. But what do you think about the situation? Do you think the deportation of illegal immigrants is a good thing? Comment your opinion down below.
This mostly built 84,000 square foot recreation center close to Mobile, Alabama, had been on track for an on-time completion by November 1st. But the construction site's superintendent says he is now looking at a 3-week delay after about half of his workers stayed home for days out of fear of being arrested by Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
This particular job here is a huge job for the community. Well, the community's going to miss out if we can't get it finished.
Superintendent Robbie Robertson, who chose to conceal his face, told Reuters that it was a recent ICE raid on a job site in Florida, more than 200 miles away, that spooked his staff.
I know that we have lost a lot of our workers because of their hearing about these raids. We have got some of them back, but we're now about half capacity, which basically hurts our work production.
Immigration raids on building sites, part of an expanding crackdown by President Donald Trump on work sites across the country, are causing major disruptions to the construction industry, according to Reuters interviews. Robertson said his company faces a $4,000 penalty for every day it runs past its November 1st deadline, already a potential cost of $84,000.
And those raids happen a good bit away from here. There's a lot of closer jobs than this one, so I know they're all being affected as well.
About 1.4 million of the roughly 11 million people in the U.S. illegally work in construction, more than any other industry. That's according to the Migration Policy Institute, a nonpartisan think tank. And construction industry leaders say those workers are hard to replace with native-born Americans because most don't have the skills.
They're willing to do it. The Hispanic descent, they basically are stepping up and will do some of the hard work. But I am a Trump supporter, like I said, and I do think there is a way to go about doing this, but I just don't think the raids is the answer.
A spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security said ICE raids have helped combat dangerous activities such as labor trafficking and exploitation. Robertson said his company and its subcontractors already verify that workers are in the country legally through the government's E-Verify program, a widely used online system which checks employment eligibility. Meanwhile, the deportation push is beginning to affect public opinion. Trump's approval rating on immigration fell to 41% in a Reuters Ipsos poll this month, the lowest since his return to the White House.
Brothers and sisters, today we need to break down something that's happening across America right now. Construction sites are facing major setbacks due to mass deportations of immigrant workers. This issue goes way beyond just labor shortages. It touches on economics, politics, and even how the African diaspora is connected to larger migration challenges across the globe. In the United States, the construction industry has long relied on immigrant labor, both documented and undocumented. From building roads, bridges, and skyscrapers to residential housing and commercial properties, immigrant workers, many from Latin America, the Caribbean, and even Africa, make up a huge percentage of the workforce. But with stricter immigration enforcement and mass deportations, many construction sites are now halting or slowing down because they simply don't have enough workers. When immigrant workers are deported, the consequences ripple across the economy. Think about it. Project delays? Delays in roads and housing projects take longer to complete, which slows down urban development. Higher costs. Fewer workers mean companies have to raise wages to attract replacements. This drives up the cost of construction, which eventually makes housing more expensive. Business losses. Small contractors who depend on steady labor lose money when their workforce is disrupted. This isn't just about construction companies, it affects average people. If housing prices keep rising because of labor shortages, working-class families, including Black Americans and African immigrants who are trying to buy homes, will feel the pinch. Behind every deportation is a story. Many of these workers are people who left their homelands because of poverty, instability, or lack of opportunity. They came to America seeking a better life for their families, and many of them also send money back home through remittances. For the African diaspora, this is especially important. African immigrants from Nigeria, Ghana, Ethiopia, and other countries are part of this labor force too. When deportations happen, it doesn't just disrupt the U.S. economy, it also affects families across the diaspora who depend on those remittances for school fees, healthcare, and survival. Immigration has always been a hot political issue in the U.S. Some argue that deportations free up jobs for citizens. But the reality is, many of these construction jobs are hard, physically demanding, and often avoided by local workers. That's why companies rely so heavily on immigrant labor. This is where the Afro-diaspora perspective matters. Black Americans, Caribbeans, and Africans are often caught in the middle of these debates. On one hand, Black communities in America struggle with unemployment. On the other hand, immigrants, including our brothers and sisters from Africa and the Caribbean, play a vital role in sustaining industries like construction. The challenge is figuring out how to balance fair job opportunities for Black Americans, while also protecting the rights and dignity of immigrant workers who contribute so much. We cannot see this issue in isolation. Around the world, migration is driven by inequality. Whether it's Africans migrating to Europe, Haitians moving across Latin America, or Latin Americans coming into the US, people move where opportunities exist. For the Afro-diaspora, this is a reminder that our struggles are linked. Deportations in the US don't just hurt workers here, they affect entire communities globally. They also reveal how dependent powerful economies are on the very people they try to push out. So family, what's the takeaway? Mass deportations might look like a political win to some, but in reality, they damage industries, increase housing costs, and fracture diaspora communities. For Black Americans, Africans, and Caribbeans, this is a moment to reflect. How do we support fair policies that protect immigrant workers while also advocating for better opportunities within our own communities? Because at the end of the day, whether it's a Jamaican laborer, a Nigerian mason, or an African American contractor, we are all impacted by these shifts. Let's keep the conversation alive, stay informed, and continue building bridges within the diaspora. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure you hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to this channel where we connect the dots on issues affecting Black people across the globe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.